Anyone? Number 6, anyone? 9, 12, yeah? 12, right. So number 12 reads, sorry. Number 12 reads 6x squared plus 23x plus 10. I would appreciate if you didn't talk over me. Thank you. Right. So you need the factors of 6x squared. That could be 6x and x, or it could be 3x and 2x. You need the factors of 10, which could be 2 and 5, or it could be 1 by 10. Okay? So trial and error, this method. If you're using this method, it's trial and error. So you have to put the stuff in and try. Okay? So I'll probably go with right. So we're going to be adding 10 to, no, that's not going to work. 2 by 3 is 6, 5 by 2 is 10, that's not going to work. 5 3s are 15, and 2, what are they?
2 and 3 and 1
2x and 3x and 1 and 10. Okay, and a plus tells me the signs are the same. Over here is a plus and a plus. Check your answer then. In the middle I have plus 3x. On the outside I have 2x by 10x is plus 20x. And put those together I have plus 23x. And that is my middle term, so that's the right answer. Okay? Sorry, yes. You know the checks. You can do the checks in your head. If you're ready for it, okay? Is that right? So you need to write down the checks if you're ready for it. But you know yourselves, girls. Come on, you're grown-ups now. So you know yourselves, if you're getting them wrong, right, okay, you need to write down the checks, okay? Right? Is that right? Number 12. Number 15, anyone? 18? 21? Yes, 21. Right? So 21, and girls, the hardest ones you'll ever be asked are here. 8x squared minus 14x plus 3. Okay, so they don't get harder than the ones here. Okay, this is as hard as they get. So remember, 8x can be 8x by x, or it can be 4x by 2x. 3 can, only one possibility, 1 by 3. Okay, 2 sets of brackets. I would say 4x and 2x and a 1 and a 3. Oh, please stop talking. Just please. It's all been recorded, like. A plus tells you same sign. Over here tells me it's minus and a minus. Check your answer. On the inside, minus 1 by 2x is minus 2x. On the outside, minus 3 by 4x is minus 12x. Put those together and you get minus 14x. That is your middle term, so this is the right answer. Okay? Yeah. Right, that's 21. 24? Anyone? Yeah. Yeah, okay. I rub this out. So 24 reads 6x squared plus x minus 22. So factors of 6x squared can be 6x by x, or it can be 3x by 2x. 22, you're looking at 1 by 22 or 2 by 11. They're the only factors there. Okay, so 2 sets of brackets. Give me a minute. Uh, 1 by 22, no, 2 by 11. Yeah, it's 6x and x. It's 2 here and 11 here, right? A minus tells you the signs are different, so make one a plus and one a minus. So I'll make that a minus and that a plus, okay? Right, so on the middle there I have minus 11x. And on the outside I have 6x by plus 2 is plus 12x. Minus 11x plus 12x is plus x, which is my middle term, which means this is the right answer. Okay, Now I'm skipping out the bit where you have to do it 5 times before you hit the right answer. I know that, right? Okay, but yeah. 24, 27, anyone? 30? No, 30 was just take out what's common, so you're okay with the take out what's common ones, right? The take out what's common ones are very easy, but people forget they exist, right? Okay, so don't forget they exist. That's the only thing with the take out what's common ones. They're the easiest ones, but people forget they don't exist, or forget they exist. Right, there's a third type, girls, okay? And it's something like this, x squared minus 25, okay? So this time, this is called the difference of two squares. Yeah. Right, for this, girls, how is it different to the ones where you did the 2 sets of brackets? Normally we have an x squared term, an x term, and a number, isn't that right? Okay, so if it's got an x squared term, an x term, and a number, you do the 2 sets of brackets. So if it was something like x squared minus 4x plus 3, right? Okay, that's x squared, x term, number. That's 2 sets of brackets, isn't it? Right, okay, I'm not doing it now. Right, if it was just x squared minus 4x, what you do here, so I'm missing the number at the end, so this is, which one is these? It's take out what's common, isn't it? Right, okay, and these ones, girls, the x squared term is going to be there, but the x term in the middle is going to be missing, but you're going to have a number, right? Okay, do you all see the difference between them? Right, this has got all 2 sets of brackets. If you have the x squared and the x, take out what's common. If you have the x squared and the number, we're going to learn what to do now. Right, okay, so if it's just the x squared, girls and the number, that means it's going to be the difference of 2 squares. So that means it's something to be squared to take away something to be squared. So x to be squared is just x all to be squared. Would you agree? What about 25? What square will give me 25? 5, so it's 5 all to be squared. Right, that's the hard bit. Then you open 2 sets of brackets, you put an x and an x, you put a 5 and a 5. Does anyone remember the last step? You put a plus and a minus. Can I put a minus and a plus? Yeah, same thing. Right, plus and a minus, or if you want a minus and a plus. Right, okay, difference of 2 squares. Right, yes. That's the sum. So this is, yeah, that they're going to give me that in the sum. So example 1. Right. Example 2. Yeah, that's my answer. And there's no checking. There's no checking or anything here. That's the answer. Done. Right. Again, it's easy enough to do, but it's recognizing it that trips people up. Right. So if I had something like 4x all to be squared, take away 9y all to be squared. So you ask yourself, right, oh, you know, yeah. So it's the difference of 2 squares. So this is, what squared will give me 4x squared? I'm going to change that to just a 9, right? But what squared will give me 4x squared? So do the number and do the letter. What squared will give me 4? 2. What squared will give me x squared? X. Right? Over here, what squared will give me 9? 3. All to be squared. That's a hard line. Right? The next one is 2 sets of brackets. You put a 2x and a 2x. You put a 3 and a 3 and a plus and a minus. Is that okay? Oh, because I forgot to write it down. Thank you. Right. Okay.
Do you know if you have plus there in the middle, would it be 2?
They won't give you the ones with the plus in the middle because you have to be in college to be able to factorize those. So it'll always be a minus in the middle because it's the difference of the 2 squares. So difference of 2 squares. So that'll always be a minus, right? If it's a plus, you've written it down wrong, because it'll always be a minus. They wouldn't ask it to you if it was a plus. Is that right? Okay, are we all okay with that? Right, one more example. Example 3. So I'm going to go with 36x squared minus 81. Okay, so it's only an x squared and a number, so that means it has to be the difference of two squares. So what squared will give me 36x squared? Do the numbers first. What squared will give me 36? What button would I use in the calculator if I wasn't sure? Square root button. The opposite to square is square root. So you get the square root of 36 on your calculator if you're not sure. What squared will give me x squared? X. So that's 6x all to be squared. Take away. What squared will give me 81? 9. And if you forget your tables, over to your calculator, square root of 81 equals, and you have your answer. Right? Two sets of brackets. We have a 6x and a 6x. We have a 9 and we have a 9, and we have a plus and a minus. Right? They're always plus and a minus. If you want to go minus and a plus, knock yourself out. Okay, but they're always, one's a plus and one's a minus in any order. Okay? Right? I'm going to give you a few of those for homework. So I'm going to give you your homework for those now. Okay, so it's going to be page 67. I'm going to ask you to do 31 to 36. I'm moving on again, okay, because they're too easy just to do just one in one day. Right? Okay, so that's some of your homework. I'll come back with the rest of it in a minute. Okay, keep your notes copy out, because so that's the first half of your homework. There'll be more. Okay, girls, the next one is solving quadratic equations. So we've just factorized quadratic equations. So a quadratic, girls, has an x squared term in it. So all of these have an x squared term in it. So we learned how to factorize them. You either do the two sets of brackets, right? You take out what's common, or it's the difference of two squares, which is what we've done. So to factorize your quadratic equations, and a quadratic has an x squared term in it. So to factorize anything with an x squared term, you either do your two sets of brackets, you take out what's common, or it's the difference of two squares, right? Okay. Now we're going to solve quadratic equations, right? What's the difference between an expression and an equation? An equation has an equal sign. If you look at the word equation, it's practically equals, isn't it? If you knock off the shuns at the end, it's equals. So basically quadratic equations, girls, have an equal sign in it, right? Okay, but it's pretty much the same as what we've done, right? Except one extra step. So example 1, right? So this time they're going to tell me to solve. Right, in the previous section they told me to factorize. Now they're going to tell me to solve. So they're going to tell me to solve x squared minus 2x minus 3 equals 0. Step 1 is factorize, which is what we've been doing for the last few days. Right, so step 1 is factorize. So I need to get the factors of this. So that means I need to split it into the two brackets. Right, okay, so it's just what we were doing for the last 3 nights, I'd say. So two sets of brackets. I get the factors of x squared. What are the factors of x squared? X and x. I'm back to the easy one. Factors of 3. What are the factors of 3? 3 and 1. A minus tells me the signs are different, aren't they? So one's a plus and one's a minus. Okay? So that just tells me same or different, and if they're different, guess them. Right? Okay? Check your answer. On the inside I have minus 3x. On the outside I have plus 1x. Put those together, I get minus 2x, and that means that is correct. Now, that's in the last section, they would have said factorize, and I would have stopped there. The end, job done. Right? But here, they've said solve. So what I've done is, I've split it into two sets of brackets. Is it okay if I take that away? Have I cut anyone off? Right? Okay, so my factors are x minus 3 times x plus 1. Right? And that equals naught. Right? So to solve, I let each bracket equal naught. So what's in the first bracket? X minus 3. So I let that equal to naught. And what's in the second bracket? X plus 1. Yeah, this is the next step on. This is the extra step we need to solve. Right? So over here, build a wall. X is on one side, numbers on the other. So this x stays put. There's the equals. Now the minus 3 comes over the wall and becomes what? Plus 3. I'm not going to bother writing that 0 because 0 is nothing. Right? Here, build a wall. Here, leave the x. Bring over the plus 1. What happens to the plus 1 when it comes over the wall? Minus 1. So how many answers do I have? 2. One is x equals 3. The other is x equals minus 1. So the same first step of the last section. That's why I moved on pretty quickly. Right? Because I know we're going to practice in more of these in this section. Okay? Right? Example 2. X squared plus 9x plus 4 equals 0, and this time they'll say the word will be solve. So when they say solve, the last line is going to read x equals a number. Okay? So I have to factorize here, right? So factors of 2x squared are 2x and x, aren't they? Factors of 4, they're either going to be 2 by 2 or it can be 1 by 4, can't it? Okay, so I have to figure it out myself, right? Two sets of brackets. Well, I have 2x and x anyway. Which one do you want to use? 1 by 4. I'm going to use 1 by 4 because I know it's the right answer, right? A plus tells me the signs are the same, and over here tells me they are plus. So they're the same and they are pluses. Okay? Check my answer. On the inside I have plus 1x, and as I say, if you've gotten good at these, you needn't check your answer on paper. You can do it in your head. 2x by 4 makes 8x. So plus 1x plus 8x is plus 9x, which is my middle term, which means these are my correct factors. Okay? So as I say, if they said factorize, I'd be done, but they actually said solve. So then I have to take each bracket and let it equal to naught. So the first bracket is 2x plus 1. I let that equal to naught. The second bracket is x plus 4, and I let that equal to naught. Then I build my wall. X is on one side, numbers on the other. So leave the 2x equals, bring over the plus 1 over the wall, it becomes a minus 1. Now I have 2x equals, I don't want 2x, I want x on its own. So what do I do? Divide by 2. Okay, and you get x is equal to minus a half. And over this side, x, sorry? Oh, sorry. I just get carried away, I forget you're there. X plus 4 equals naught. Right, so bring over the plus 4 and it becomes a minus 4. Okay? Do you need another example, or do you think you'd be good to try a few? I think you'd be great to try a few. So, the second part of your homework is going to be, so what did I give you? Page 67. is just factorised, so there's no letting anything equal to naught, right? So it's just factorised, 31 to 36, and the second part of your homework is going to be on page 69, and you're going to do 8 to 12. So girls, 31 to 36 are the difference of two squares, just factorised. So they're like the first section we did, and these are like the examples we just did there. Okay? And I'll stick up the pages on Teams. Now, out of your book. I'm back to your book.